Have you ever replayed a moment over and over in your head, cringing at what you said or did? Do you ever wish you could go back in time, erase that awkward phrase, that misguided joke, that clumsy mistake? Have you ever felt so humiliated that you wanted to vanish into thin air? Welcome back to the channel, my friends. I'm truly honored to have you here again. Today, we're talking about something that's universal yet deeply personal: embarrassment. But more than that, we're exploring why those awkward, gut-wrenching moments that haunt you at night might actually be signs that you're evolving into a better version of yourself. This is not just a philosophical discussion. This is a survival guide for anyone who has ever blushed, stuttered, misstepped, or made a fool of themselves. And that means all of us. Let us start with something simple but profound. Embarrassment only hurts because you care. You care about how you're perceived. You care about doing the right thing. You care about being respected, accepted, loved. And when you fall short of that image, even if it's only in your mind, it stings. But here's the twist. That sting is growth. Think about it. If you were still the same person you were 5 years ago, you wouldn't cringe at your past behavior. You'd still think it was fine. But the fact that it hurts now means you've expanded. You've learned. You've grown a new level of awareness. That's powerful. Let me tell you about a man named Jared. He was in his early 20s, just starting his career, eager to make a mark. In one meeting, he tried to impress a senior executive with a bold idea. But he stumbled over his words, mixed up some data, and the room fell silent. The executive replied curtly, "Let us not waste time on amateur theories." Jared was crushed. He replayed the scene for weeks. He considered quitting. But eventually he asked himself, why did it hurt so much? Because he wasn't prepared. Because he hadn't practiced. Because deep down he knew he could do better. So he got to work. Fast forward a year, and Jared was leading that same meeting. Calm, confident, with data that was clear and compelling. The same executive nodded in approval. Jared smiled, not because he finally got respect, but because he knew how far he'd come. That embarrassing moment, it was his teacher. It was the catalyst that pushed him to grow. Embarrassment is often the first step in self-awareness. Peels back the ego. It shows us where we still need to improve. It forces us to reconcile the gap between who we are and who we want to be. But here's the thing. Not all embarrassment is created equal. There's the silly kind, like when you trip over nothing on the street. There's the social kind, when a joke falls flat or you forget someone's name. And then there's the deep kind, the kind that challenges your identity, your competence, your value. And those deeper moments, they're the ones that can either break you or make you. Because when you face them, sit with them, and ask, what is this trying to teach me? That's when embarrassment becomes empowerment. Let us take a different angle. Why do we fear embarrassment so much? Because it threatens our sense of belonging. From the earliest days of human evolution, being accepted by the group meant survival. Being rejected or ridiculed meant danger. That instinct is still hardwired into our brains. It's why public speaking is scarier to most people than death. It's why we sweat, tremble, and want to hide when we feel we've messed up. But today, embarrassment isn't fatal. It's fertile. It's rich soil for growth. Here's something few people talk about. The most successful people in the world have the most embarrassing stories. Because they tried the most. They failed the most. They risked the most. Think of comedians. Their whole career is built on walking the tightrope between funny and flop. Every great stand-up has bombed on stage. Every entrepreneur has pitched badly. Every author has written terrible first drafts. Every artist has shown work they later regret. But they kept going. That's the key difference. Not talent, not perfection, but resilience. Here's a truth bomb. No one actually remembers your embarrassing moment the way you do. What you've replayed in your head 100 times. Most people forgot it the next day. They were too busy worrying about their own awkwardness. You are not your worst moment. You are your next choice. Let me share the story of Andrea. She was in college, and during a debate class she froze, completely blanked. Her professor had to prompt her multiple times. Her classmates stared. Some laughed. She ran out of the room in tears. For weeks she avoided class, convinced she was stupid. But then something happened. Another student, quiet, shy, always in the back, approached her and said, "I was so scared that could happen to me. But watching you come back to class after that, it gave me courage." Andrea realized something vital. Her embarrassment had become someone else's inspiration. That's the thing about vulnerability, it's contagious. When you own your awkwardness, you give others permission to be human too. So what can you do when embarrassment hits? First, breathe. Literally. Breathe deep and slow. It calms your nervous system and stops the spiral. Second, name it. Say, "I feel embarrassed." Naming an emotion disarms it. Hiding it gives it power. Third, reflect. Ask, what triggered this? Is it showing me something I need to address? Or is it just a blip I can let go? Fourth, reframe. What if this ice into disaster? What if it's a doorway? And fifth, laugh. Humor is the great dissolver of shame. If you can laugh at yourself, no one can use your embarrassment against you. In fact, let us make this a mantra. If I can laugh about it one day, I might as well start now. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be real. Real people stumble. Real people blush. Real people say the wrong thing. And real people learn, evolve, and rise. Let us flip the script. Instead of asking, "What if they think I'm stupid?" ask, "What if this is how I grow smarter?" Instead of fearing judgment, embrace curiosity. Instead of hiding, show up again. The world doesn't need more polished masks. It needs more honest faces. So the next time you feel the burn of embarrassment, remember, it means your standards have risen. It means you're trying. It means you care. And most of all, it means you're growing. Growth never happens in comfort. It happens in cringe, in stumble, in silence, in sweat, and in choosing to keep going anyway. If no one told you this today, you're doing just fine. Your awkwardness doesn't disqualify you, humanizes you, connects you, it reveals you. Thank you for watching this video. If anything in today's message resonated with you, please leave a comment below. Share your most cringeworthy moment and how it shaped you. Let us laugh, heal, and grow together. If you found value here, like and subscribe. This community is about being real, not perfect. Until next time, embrace the awkward, honor the cringe, and keep growing.